lackluster intro to a to indie startup. Don't. All right, what's up, guys? Thanks. Thank you for hanging out for this very free experience. All right, well, I guess for some context, I'm Aaron Chase. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Before I actually get started in this, to give some context, so I'm a comedian, I'm a stand-up comic, but what I'm about to do here I wouldn't describe it as just straight stand-up comedy. This is more like a one-man show. I'm just telling stories. I don't know if you guys are aware, but there have been protests going on. And the country is in fucking shambles right now, so I'm just gonna be telling my perspective. Just telling you some stories, just honest stories. I'll try to make it as entertaining as possible. Dave Chappelle's 846. So Dave Chappelle, as you already know, is like a big icon for me, guy I look up to. And when you see comedy specials, you're always like, fuck man, they gotta be in a big theater and sweeping shots and all that stuff. And then 846 came out and I was like, I could fucking do that. So here I am, just trying to do that. And I figure, I don't really have anything to lose. And I appreciate the head nod of and totally understanding, yes, he has lost everything. It's very hot up here. So, all that being said, let's get into it. So the first time I got called a nigger, I was 7 years old, about 7 or 8. Yeah, we jumped right into it. I told you it wasn't gonna be that funny, and here we are. So the first time I got called a nigger, I was about 7 or 8 years old, and I was playing down the street. I grew up in Riverside, for context. I know we're in Redlands right now. Riverside is just dirtier Redlands. It's Redlands with like motocross. That's Riverside. And so I was playing with this kid down the street, who's a neighbor, and we were playing basketball, I think, and his dad comes out. And mind you, when I tell you this story, I'm telling you from like a 7 or 8 year old memory. You know how everything's like exaggerated when you're a kid? His dad, to this day, is terrifying in my brain. Have you guys seen X-Men? You guys know X-Men? Yeah. Do you guys remember the character, the Blob? Yeah. Picture that guy coming out. Like, in my 7-year-old brain, I picture, it's the most extreme version. Like, he's in a white beater with mustard stains. And he's got like Confederate flag underwear that's peeking out, and he's just the Blob. But I'm sure he's just a dude, just an asshole. But like, came out and he started screaming at me. He's yelling at me like, "You fucking nigger, get out of here, get out of this country. You don't belong here. Get away from my son, you fucking nigger." That's what he was saying to me. My mom doesn't play that shit. My mom is like if Samuel L. Jackson was a woman. She just very angry, loud person. She came down and started screaming at him, "What'd you say to my son?" "What?" "Say what again? I dare you! I double dare you, motherfucker! Say one more goddamn time!" I just like that movie. No, that's not what she said at all. But she started screaming back at this guy. They're going back and forth, and she drags me back up to the house. And she told me, she screamed at me, was like, "You're not going back down there. That guy's crazy, yada yada." But there wasn't enough subtlety. Not enough like calm explanation for me as a kid to not internalize what happened. Like when you're 7 or 8 and all these adults are screaming at you, you're just trying to play basketball. You don't know what's going on. You internalize those emotions. For a long time I thought that like, oh, okay, this whole situation was my fault. And the thing about being a black dude that a lot of people don't understand is that like, you're viewed as older than you are. I'm gonna use Pokemon as an example. At 7, I was a Charmander, right? And then when you're a black dude in America, by the time you hit teenage age, you've jumped to Charizard. That's how the world views you as a Charizard, when in reality, you're still a Charmeleon. You're still trying to figure it out. Does any of that make sense? Okay. Cool, there's nerd references to explain racism, but that's how it feels. Where once you're a black kid and you turn to a teenager, shit really hits the fan. I was in middle school when I had my first run-in with skinheads. I say first because there were multiple. But for the sake of this, I'm not going to tell you all the stories. But this is my first time. I was in middle school, and I was doing tutoring after school for math because I sucked at math. I still suck at it. And so I was being tutored after school for like 45 minutes. And so by the time I was walking home, there was nobody. I lived in the suburbs, so there was nobody around. It was just me. So I'm walking home, and there were these group of children, my age, kids my age, and there were like, from my memory of it, there was like 5 of them. Have you guys seen Codename Kids Next Door? Okay, cool. Do you remember the delightful children from around the lane?
Those creepy ass kids?
Exactly, those creepy ass kids. 100% way to describe them. These kids were Hitler's wet dream. These kids were just...
I've been called that before.
That's scary and concerning. Thank you for being on my side here,
I
I
didn't
hope.
like it.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
that's good. These kids were off. And so I'm walking down the street and I'm just going home, and one of them is saying something to me. I couldn't understand what he was saying. So in my naivete, I was like, well, he clearly wants to talk to me, so we're gonna have a discussion. So I walked back over to him, and by the time I got close enough to understand what they were saying, it was too late. I realized what he was saying. I'm gonna quote him here. He was saying, nigger, 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 over and over and over again. I just realized, I don't forget that I'm outside and that innocent bystanders are like, this is getting, is he allowed to say that? Yes, I am. Look at this hair. No, by the time I realized that that's what he was saying, I was like, oh, this guy doesn't want to be my friend, I don't think. I also noticed that he had a meat cleaver in his hand, like a butcher knife. I've had the cops called on me plenty of times in my life. We had the cops called on me for hanging outside a church in Riverside. Nobody said a goddamn thing about this kid walking around with a butcher knife. I guess the whole community just wanted to see what would happen if Jason became a reality. I don't know, it was ridiculous. But he has this big butcher knife, right? And I know how to pick my battles. I know when a situation is dangerous. And so I was going through my head, like, how do I get out of this situation with as little damage as possible? If I run, I'm incentivizing them to chase me, so I can't run. If I try to fight all of them, Jesus Christ, that's not gonna work out. So I decided to be like, yeah, and I went right back to school and I fucking Tekashi 6ix9'd on all of them bitches. I was like, they did it. You go send an adult. This is not children business. That guy is a meat cleaver. He's an American Psycho. This is insane. And so, you know, they went out and they dealt with the kids. I never saw those kids again. I assumed they became cops. I assume, but I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions, make an ass out of you and me, as they say. And I know that, my phone overheated and turned off, so I don't know if I'm not gonna have audio. I'm sorry, Bryce. But I don't want what I'm saying right now to be perceived as me saying that white people are just evil. I don't believe that at all. And this is a thing that I've come to realize during all of this time that is really scary. Oh, thanks, man. That's really scary about all of this is it would be easier if it was black and white. It would actually be easier for me if I could just be like, oh, okay, that's a good guy, that's a bad guy. Simple. But it's actually way more complicated. I've come to realize that people I thought were my friends were not really my friends. Or maybe they had a lot of really fucked up thoughts they were unwilling to talk to me about. Do you guys know what gaslighting is?
Yeah.
Cool. If you don't know, gaslighting, this is the example I always use. Boyfriend punches girlfriend, hour later says to the girlfriend, I'm sorry that you made me hit you. It's gaslighting. So again, grew up in Riverside, and I would have these issues. I was getting called a nigger all the time, like having all these problems, and I was telling people, I was not a quiet kid. I don't know if you can tell by my personality up here. I was just obnoxious and loud. Nobody would have ever molested me, because I would have talked about it. So I was a loud kid, man. I brought this stuff up to people all the time. And because they didn't have the same experiences as me, they didn't understand. They thought I was making shit up. I would have people respond like, "Oh, Aaron, you're being silly. Are you exaggerating? What were you listening to loud rap music? Aaron, what were you wearing? I get why women don't like that shit now. I could have been wearing a fucking duck outfit for all you give a shit. I should not have to be dealing with skinheads, and I should not be getting called a nigger when I'm 7. And I grew up in a church that was predominantly white. And I say predominantly because I was in the church. As soon as you take me out, predominantly also goes away. And it's predominantly white church. And I grew up with these people. This was my family. Now, before I tell you this story, let me just say that these are people I still care about. These aren't, like, I know we're gonna put this on the internet and who knows, don't find these people, don't dox them or anything, like, don't bother them. These are people I care about, and I understand that they did not understand. I really hope that their perception of what things are going on have changed, and I honestly have no idea. I haven't talked to them in a very long time, but I was talking with my mentor at the time, a white dude who's in his early 20s. At the time, I was about 15, 16. And there were other youth leaders there as well. They were in their late 30s, maybe early 40s. And I was getting called a nigger, and I was talking about all this shit that I've been talking to you right now about. And we were having an argument about black people saying it in music, in rap songs, and if white people can say it or not. And my Christian youth leader said to me, and I quote, "Aaron, there are niggers of every race. There's white niggers, and there's black niggers, and there's Mexican niggers, and there's Asian niggers." My Christian youth leader said this to the only black kid in a church while he was 15, 16 years. That is insane. That is crazy shit to me. And if for whatever reason you're listening and you're thinking to yourself that you agree with the rhetoric, let's say you agree with what he was saying, okay, fine, you agree with what he was saying, still inappropriate to say it to a child at fucking church. Still not okay. Now things are ramping up at a terrifying rate. Things are ramping up at a really terrifying rate. And before I get into this next little bit, let me just say, I'm malleable. My beliefs are malleable. I will change my mind if you give me a valid enough argument. I used to be what is they called a liberal cuck when it came to guns. Is that what they would say, a liberal cuck? My beliefs about guns before all of this was essentially, I don't think I should own one. I'm not mentally stable enough. I'm gonna go out like Kurt Cobain if you give me a gun. But you know, if you have a gun and you want to stay away from me, that's fine. And I saw what happened to Philando Castile, so I'm not even gonna mess with it. I don't want problems, right? But then I was walking during curfew. You guys remember curfew? Sorry, everything feels like it's been 20 years, all in 2020. But during curfew, I was walking my dog, and in my neighborhood, like 5 minutes away from my grandma's house. I was walking my dog, and this big white pickup truck, because of course it was, pulls up on my side of the street, which is the wrong side and is facing me, and they have their brights on, so I can't see anything past them. And I learned my lesson from the skinheads before. I was not going to keep walking. I was like, all right, well, I'm going back. Fuck that. No way. And, you know, I felt like, all right, you convinced me, America, I should get a gun. So I got a gun, and I gotta say, I get the appeal. I got a shotgun. I racked that thing one time. My dick got hard. I was like, this is pretty awesome. I started watching John Wick over and over again, doing flips in my garage. Fucking no, but no, I got a gun, man. You can change my mind. That's the thing. You can change my mind. I will listen to you, and I ask the same level of respect. If I give you a reasonable enough argument, then change your fucking mind. And growing up where I grew up, I was called, people would say to me, this is through childhood all the way into college. About 2014 was the last time I heard this. But people would say to me, Aaron, I like you. I like you because you're like a good black person. It's a thing people would say to me where I grew up. That was considered a compliment where I grew up. So I'm sure you can only imagine the insults. Nigger, mostly. I don't know if you picked up on the theme of this whole goddamn thing, but it was nigger mostly. Every now and again they throw out a coon or a boy if they wanted to change it up. Maybe throw out, like, really old school, throw out a jigaboo. More Pokemon, right? That sounds like a Pokemon. Honestly, I think they should change up their racial slurs to jigaboo, and I'd be kind of excited. I choose you, jigaboo. All right. They would say I was a good black person, including the little white girl feminist at Cal State San Marcos. Yes, Cal State San Marcos. I didn't forget. Be a fucking hypocrites. God damn it. Sorry, it upsets me just thinking about it. But they would say I was a good black person. And you know what's really terrifying? If I'm the standard for a good black person and I have these stories, can you imagine what it must be like for a neutral black person, let alone someone that's perceived as a bad black person? It's terrifying, it's awful, it's scary, it's disturbing. It's not fucking okay. Fucked up on my sheet. I got it. There's more. I know I'm almost done. They would say I was a good black person. That's fucking insulting. And I'm really getting fed up. I'm a pretty calm person. Like, I'm calm. I will talk to you pretty reasonably for a long amount of time. You've seen me out there on the street talking to crazy people for hours at a time, listening to just having them incept their insanity in my brain. I feel like I'm just talking to different versions of Kanye that's not as rich out on the street. That's what it feels like for me, all the time. And one of the things that I keep hearing over and over again is, well, you can't say anything anymore. All these PC police coming out. Well, you can't say anything because the PC police. I'm worried about the fucking police. Can we talk about the police before we talk about the PC police, please? I'm pretty sure Breonna Taylor didn't get fucking murdered because she was sleeping and then uttered the word midget while she was sleeping. The PC police didn't come breaking through her window like Minority Report and shot her up that way. I'm pretty sure Philando Castile didn't die because he was chatting about tranny porn and the PC police shot him in front of his fucking wife and his daughter. George Floyd didn't get suffocated to death because he used the word faggot. No, don't complain about the PC police right now. Say whatever you want to say, just accept the consequences of it. That's what it comes down to. You're so fucking excited about the Second Amendment. Be excited about the first one, you fucking hypocrites. Not you guys, you're cool. So excited about the Second Amendment. So fucking excited to shoot people, but so upset when someone takes a knee. Jesus Christ. I am blown the fuck away by that. It is wholly disturbing to me that these people, you hear it over and over again, like, well, you need to do it peacefully. We need to be peaceful. All right, well, he did it peacefully for 2 years, quietly. And that wasn't enough, because this isn't about peace to these people, I'm coming to realize. This isn't about peace, this isn't about love and unity, this isn't about we're all Americans. This is about, for them, this is my country, get the fuck out. And I'm not getting out, I grew up here and I'm fucking staying here. I don't have money to go anywhere. This is part of it. I'm stuck regardless. I would not be living in the same neighborhood if I could. Took a knee for 2 years and you're bitching about, you know what I say to that? Hey, stop being a pussy, you fucking cuck. You can't handle, someone quietly, first off, the argument that you hear over and over again, well, it's disrespecting the flag, and it's disrespecting the troops, it's disrespecting the country. No, it's not. It had nothing to do with that. However, I'm gonna play ball with that idea. Let's play ball with that idea. Let's say, for sake of argument, it does disrespect the flag and disrespects the military, whatever. Let's say it does. Okay. I say to you again, stop being a fucking bitch, you little cucks. If you're excited about the Second Amendment, be just as excited about the First. And whether you like it or not, whether you find it disrespectful or not, kneeling quietly is freedom of speech. You want your Second Amendment, take your fucking First Amendment. So, the last thing I'll say here before we cut, I guess. I'll still talk if needed, it's hot, but whatever. Last thing I'll say is the thing that keeps getting screamed at me all the time when I'm out on the street over there is, all lives matter! Keeps getting screamed. It's never happy. It's never like, hey buddy, all lives matter. It's never that. It's all the fucking lives matter. They're so mad, they're so angry. Here's my response to that. Yeah, I know. Yes, I know yes, obviously. You're not gonna trick me, okay? You're not gonna trick me with your fucking lexicon switch up. I'm not a fucking idiot. I know that it becomes easier to argue when you just word it in a nice little package like that. How do you argue with all lives matter? How do you do that? So here's what I'll say to you then. If you're thinking to yourself, if you've watched up to this point, if you're thinking to yourself, hey buddy, hey man, all lives matter. Here's what I'll say to you. Yes, I agree. And that means that if all lives matter, black lives also matter. Thank you, I'm Aaron Chase. Thank you.